Have you ever wondered about the long-term health effects of having a pacemaker? Well, today I talked about that with my doctor, and I'm going to share that information with you. Today I went in for my normal pacemaker check, and I had some concerns about the long-term health effects of having a pacemaker, so I decided to ask my cardiologist about those today. As some of you may know, about 18 months ago, I was diagnosed with bradycardia that progresses into complete AV node block while I'm asleep. And that results in a 5 to 6 second pause of my heart, sometimes while I'm sleeping. So after getting my device implanted, I've been going back to the cardiologist every 3 to 4 months to have it checked out. And I've always been interested in my immediate health. How is it doing? Things like that. So I never really took the time to ask them about the long-term health effects of having the pacemaker. The first question I asked my doctor was, how long can I expect to live with my pacemaker? And she kind of said with a smile, well, until you die. And that kind of makes sense. But then she got serious and said, your heart is structurally normal. I had an echocardiogram and it showed that the structure was fine. So this is just an electrical problem with the heart. And she said because of that, now that I have the pacemaker implanted, I can expect to live a normal lifespan. There's no decrease in lifespan just because I have a pacemaker. She said, in fact, that's the thing that's keeping you alive. So more important than being concerned about the pacemaker having side effects on your health, she said you need to worry about your blood pressure. So I've been taking blood pressure medication to try to lower that, and also over the last few years I've tried to improve my diet and exercise routine in order to eventually get myself weaned off of that blood pressure medication. So she said that I needed to watch what I was eating as far as salt intake, try to reduce the processed foods, and increase the number of fruits and vegetables I eat in my diet. And that those things were more of an indicator for having heart disease in the future than anything with the pacemaker. So I was concerned about the leads going into the heart. Basically, now that the leads are in and they've caused scar tissue, they've grown around the leads. So those really aren't a concern about them coming loose or causing adverse effects. I also had a concern about the actual lead going through one of the valves into the lower chamber, if that would cause problems in the future if it would wear it out. And she said, no, that's not a problem. You don't need to be concerned about that. I was also worried about if plaque would build up on the leads more, or if they'd be more prone to have something like that, to maybe have clogged arteries in the future. And again, she said there's no evidence that the leads themselves cause more plaque buildup. It's all about your diet and exercise routine. And then we talked about the one obvious thing that was going to have to happen at some point in my life. Since I am going to have this pacemaker for years, even though the battery life is about 10 years right now, that sometime in the future I will most likely have to have the unit, the pacer itself, cut out and replaced. Well, they open the pocket and replace it, and the leads would stay in there, and that could possibly happen 2 to 3 times throughout my life. So that's definitely one long-term health effect that having the pacemaker will cause me to go in to have this surgery to replace the unit every 10 years, maybe more frequently as I get older. Since I'm relatively new to the Pacemaker Club, I'm curious about other people's experiences. So if you'd like to, in the comments below, tell me how long you've had a pacemaker and the experiences that you've had over the years with that pacemaker. So the bottom line is that we should be happy that we have our pacemaker. Because without it, we wouldn't have to worry about our long-term health effects. But, we still do worry, and that's just human nature. If you agree, please give a thumbs up to this video, And please subscribe if you'd like to see videos in the future. And thanks for watching.
Subscribe now. Resistance is futile.